I promised I'd be back, Skip. I want to talk about one of the big network marketing advantages that I think is just, well, it's big. It's just big. When you build a business, you need confidence. You need to know in your heart that what you're doing is of substance, it's real, it's got some advantages to it. And I would say do your due diligence. Don't just take my word for it. Do your due diligence, get to know what's available, what works, and think about these things. Make notes and think and evaluate. Do the old Benjamin Franklin check, the pluses and the minuses and all that kind of stuff. Whatever it takes to get to know and to become familiar with what it is you're doing and where you're going with it. So I want to talk about network marketing and the sense of it a little bit in the big picture. And I'm going to go back and remind you that one of the big things that you need to be able to do in network marketing is to acquire traffic. Traditionally, and you go back, and I've been around it. I admit I was an Amway guy for a very short period of time. Went to some of the big meetings and conferences and drew circles and all the rest of it with everybody else, and ended up with a closet full of products, some of which I used and some of which I never did. I made all the mistakes everybody else makes over time. And there's lots of network marketing companies, and it evolved. Well, it's evolved to the point where there are some things that are just really have stood the test of time, have proven themselves, are more than viable. But there's a negative side to it, as perceived by many, and that is that you really have to be a one-on-one personal contact in order to build the business. There's an awful lot of people that have driven their family and friends nuts to the point where they'll never be welcome at another family reunion. You can sell 24/7 and you're missing the point. So how do you market? How do you build a business that you're not tapping your friends, and you're not hanging out the malls and handing out cards or putting cards in windshields and all the things that I've seen over time that people have done for a marketing exercise in network marketing, because it's always been very personal. But guess what? You don't have to lose the personal aspect of it in today's age. Technology has given us a huge advantage. So I want to talk about an idea here that is powerful. You need to know how to drive traffic. Instead of using your website as an online brochure, which has always been good, that's positive, I'm not knocking it. You can even have an online sales page that you send people to. All that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. But where do you get your customers? How do you draw traffic? How do you drive targeted traffic? And then, here's a biggie, think about this, the word conversion. Because you can drive all kinds of traffic, and if you're driving the wrong traffic and nobody's interested, you're not going to get any conversions. So how do you initially identify the market you want, tap into that market, get people to your site, and get them excited to where they'll sign up, and in fact enter into that place we call conversions. Conversion is that process of going from a prospect, somebody that's looking and interested at some point, to the point where they actually buy. You convert from a prospect to a customer. Conversions are everything. Now typically you'll see people are happy when they get 1 or 2% conversions. Well, the problem with that is while that's okay, and it's not a terrible standard, depending on how many people you're reaching in the bigger picture, people are making money at that. But the reality is, there's a good chance that if that's where your numbers are, then you're driving a lot of traffic that has no interest whatsoever. And so you need to learn to concentrate down to the point where you're getting real, honest, targeted traffic. And people, now listen to this, because this is really important. Listen closely. You need to draw traffic, and traffic with people who have already expressed an interest in what you have and what you're doing. They've already said they want it. They're interested. They want to know more. How do you not just isolate traffic, but isolate targeted traffic, that when they see your offer, they're going to look at it. They're going to find out what it's about, and now you have a much higher chance of high conversions. That's what you need. Well, the skill there, how many courses online, and I tell you what, I don't know, maybe thousands, I don't know how many, but lots of places where they say that they've got they're the traffic experts. So they send you to Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever the program, and they'll say, well, they're the expert at that. Well, they may be making you some money at that. They may be pretty good. But again, you're going to pretty much general audiences, and you're still not targeting as well as you could. The other problem with the social media is that in social media, you have to deal with algorithms. Just a quick example, a few years back, 2, 3 years, whatever it was, there was a lot of people involved in affiliate marketing. And there's billions of dollars paid out in paychecks in affiliate marketing. It's powerful, it's real, it's the authentic deal, and there's no reason you can't be involved in affiliate marketing and prosper. But here was the challenge. Google decided to change their algorithm because they were seeing so many people in affiliate marketing that they decided to discriminate against the word affiliate. So there was people making millions. I mean, people high income, big earners that were just rolling in it. And one day, the faucet turned off and there was no more traffic because the algorithms changed and blocked the word affiliate, and they were using affiliate in their marketing. And it changed everything overnight. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily that's going to happen again in the same way. I am saying that it can happen. I am also saying if you're current and you're watching social media, what's going on with that, and all the controversies around Google, around Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all of that, you're seeing some real stuff going on. And you are going to, I guarantee you, 100%, I guarantee you, you're going to see changes to where algorithms really matter, and what the companies do and their approach to it relative to marketing are going to change. Now, there might be some very positive changes in all that, I don't know, but they're going to change. And you need to be prepared for that. So here's the way around that, is that you don't rely on social media. It can be one of your methods and include it in your process and all that. That's fine. But there are bigger, better ways to achieve online marketing where you're not relying on one marketing source and you're going to people who have demonstrated a specific interest in what you have. Now, why am I talking about all of that relative to network marketing? The fellow, you've heard me probably talk, if you've been to the rest of my website, about the 4% challenge. Well, the fellow, Vic Stryzius, that created that, just to prove the concept, signed up as a newbie, a guy who didn't use any of his existing resources or his list or any of that. He just signed up and used the blueprint that he had created for driving high levels of targeted traffic. He just used his system, that's it, and started at nothing. And it was between 2 and 3 months he became the #1 income earner in a network marketing product that he chose at random and just beat everybody. Became the #1 income earner through a blueprint. The blueprint is what you learn in the 4% challenge. It's a 30 session program. It teaches you step by step everything you need to do to drive traffic, what you need to know. The beauty of that is at the end of that, you're now independent. You don't have to depend on 4% or anybody else. You become independent in being able to drive traffic. Now, all of your support for that, if you're in network marketing, all your support and follow-up can be done online. Now, you can also have a partners and friends page where you work specifically and help people, or your group. There's a lot of things you can do in the follow-up, and we get into that more later. I just want to introduce you to this idea, the fact that you can go into a network marketing organization and blow it out. Absolutely crush it in a very short period of time. Now, you marry that to affiliate marketing where you have multiple streams of income built in. Most of the passive income streams that you have in affiliate marketing will be a variable. It'll come and go for various reasons. And again, I'm not going to get into deep into the weeds as to why that happens. It just does. So I'm not going to go way into that. But the reality is that's one form of residual income that is very good. It's solid. It'll grow over time. But the biggest form of ongoing residual income is found in network marketing. You'll find more stability, and here's the other advantage of it. You add that up with the fact that you're growing your business. How much time do you have in a day as opposed to how much time do you have when you multiply that by all the people who come into your organizations, part of your network, and now you're making money off of their efforts. You can only make so much money off of your own personal efforts. But if you can expand that and make more money off of the efforts of others by building a network, now you've got something that's powerful. I've got a very good friend, in fact, my best friend. This lovely guy. He's amazing. He's written books on this topic. He has been making money on network marketing through more than one organization for years, and even after he was no longer actively involved in those businesses, still making money on those businesses. It's something that can last long, a long way down the road. So if you want to build something that is we can really grow something substantial and take advantage of several different forms of income, different types of residual income. Now you've covered all the bases because you're not relying on any one thing. And now when we talk about the 4%ers, why the name 4%? There's only 4% of the people who ever really make it big online. 96% fail. Well, if you want to be a 4% of the 4%ers, those guys out there, there's people making millions. A lot of it has to do with your own mindset, your resolve. What's your mindset? If I asked you if you could make $10,000 a month, how would you react? You might say, yeah, maybe. If I said, could you make $100,000 a month, how would you react? A lot of people just kind of glaze over. They can't see themselves making that kind of money. Well, guess what? If you can make $10,000, wash, rinse, and repeat. You can make $100,000. You can make any amount of money you want. But you got to get out of the way. Get your mind out of the way. Reprogram your thinking. And that's part of a big part of what the 4% does. It changes your perspective to think bigger and to look at a bigger picture. So I want you to take a look at some of those things. Now this video that I'm doing right now, I know it's taking a little bit of time, but it's worth it. So I want you to go through and consider this. And again, I'm going to remind you, I am not telling you sign up for the 4% and learn how to drive traffic, and then at the same time drive up or set up for a network marketing company. That's not wise. It's just not wise. You want to become very good at something before you get very good at the next thing. The 4% challenge is going to give you a foundation, and I can't recommend it highly enough. If you take that now, here's what's interesting. You become really an expert in driving targeted traffic and building multiple streams of income. And multiple streams means there's several levels of subscription model income sources that build up and become long-term sustaining. So there's a lot of advantage in that, and it's all contained in the 30 sessions that you'll learn in the 4% challenge. So you start there and you build your foundation. Now, let's say that you're building your network marketing. You've turned to that. Well, guess what? The biggest challenge in network marketing is to build traffic one-on-one, and then as a leader, you've got to teach your people how to do the same. Well, what if you could sign people up, plug them right straight into a system that takes over all of the training so that they can drive traffic, targeted traffic, that's going to be high conversion traffic, that they can drive that traffic as a part of their business. Now you all of a sudden you have a whole bunch of monsters, marketing monsters that you've created as a team. And these guys are out there going nuts. Now could you make a little bit more money if people learn how to drive traffic outside of having to hit up all their friends? Could you make more money by doing that? Yes. Is it worth taking your time? Don't get in a hurry. Don't get your shorts in a knot and get all excited and you're going to run in and kill it next month. Take a little time. Learn. But if you do that, you take a little bit of time, you put the pieces in place, and this is where I can help. I've got a Partners and Friends page in my website. It's all connected here, and there's a link to that. But I can help coach those who want to be coached, those who are serious. Now, if you're just playing around, and if you're just checking it out, fine, God bless you, no problem. Do your thing. But if you're serious, and you really want to get that dog on a bone attitude, I'm going to do it, no one's going to stop me, I'm going to make this happen, then I want to talk to you. We'll connect. And you pace yourself out, and you do it correctly. And I've asked so many people this question. If you knew that in 6 months, maybe a year, you could spend learning, and from that point forward, based on what you learned, be set up financially for the rest of your life, would you do it? Sure. I mean, you'd work nights and weekends and whatever you had to do outside of your job. You'd do whatever it takes. You would learn if you knew that you could do it within 6 months to a year. Well, guess what? Some people, if they're aggressive, are doing it in a matter of a couple of months. I don't guarantee any of that. That's up to you. But the point of it is that if you take your time and you put together a baseline and you learn how to do it and you get rid of the mindset that says you can't or that you're not worth it or whatever you want to, whatever gets in the way, and you apply yourself to it, you can set yourself up for life and a whole lot of people with you. This is where real satisfaction is, knowing that you made a difference, that you stepped up and helped some people achieve something that they've always wanted and never thought they could. This is where it gets interesting. So when you marry the idea of affiliate marketing, driving traffic, high quality converting traffic, and you marry that with the concept of network marketing and get a whole lot of people involved using the same system, you just created a marketing monster. And you're going to be good to go for a long time. And you can do it all online. And it won't take you any more time during the course of an average day to make $100,000 a month or way more. 6, 7 figures, 8 figures of people doing it. And they've got just the same 24 hours that you have. So depending on how you do this, how intelligent you go about setting it up, if you take the right steps, don't be afraid to invest in good, solid education that makes a difference. Do it, and you won't do it, and you won't regret it. It's an amazing thing. The only people who fail are the people who quit. It's pretty much that simple. If you decide that if you get sidetracked and you're doing a lot of other things and you don't take it seriously, well, that's your choice. And there's a lot of people who make that choice. But believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Believe that there's something more. And when you can take all of these concepts and line it up and you learn it, become the expert, and you learn how to establish your personal brand. World's your oyster. You can do whatever you want. And at the end of the day, I want to give you a word. That word is choice. If in life you can choose what you do in a day. I live in Phoenix. If we can choose to head up to Flagstaff, it's an hour and a half away, and spend the day up there and picnic or do whatever we want because it's 20 degrees cooler, and when it's 110 degrees out, you want cooler if you can get it. If we want to do that any given day, we can just hop in the car and go. And if we want to spend a day or two up there, we could do it. No problem. What if you have that kind of choice? What if you have the choice? You can go to church on Sundays, get involved in the various things you want to do and the things that mean something to you, the things that are meaningful in life. Have choice in your life. That's what it comes down to. Don't set aside that word choice. At the end of the day, if you have that objective, I want to have choice in life, you can own it. Just have to make up your mind you will. Okay, I've rambled on for quite a while on this video, and there's going to be so much more. I'm going to have a lot more training in this. But particularly if you're interested in combining the concepts of marketing, so you got one power pack package, let me know. We can help you with that a little bit. And so with that, I've rambled on here for a little while. So with that, I'll touch bases with you in the next video, whatever that video might be. And hopefully we'll connect here at some point. So God bless, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.